In a quiet barangay in the Philippines, an old wooden house was sold for almost nothing. Every family that lived there left within a week. The last owner didn't leave, because by the seventh night, no one could find him. In the mountains of Bukidnon stood an old wooden house that had been abandoned for nearly 20 years. It wasn't unusual for old homes to sit empty. Families moved to the city, some inherited land they couldn't maintain, others simply wanted a fresh start. But this house was different. Neighbors avoided walking past it after sunset. Children were warned never to play near it. Even stray dogs refused to enter the yard. The locals had only one explanation. Something still lives there. When 38-year-old Joel Navarro heard the stories, he laughed. Joel had recently lost his construction job in Cagayan de Oro. Money was tight. His wife, Liza, and their 10-year-old daughter, Anne, needed a place they could actually afford. When he discovered the abandoned house selling for less than half its market value, he didn't ask many questions. The elderly owner signed the papers quickly. Before leaving, the old man placed a small wooden crucifix on the dining table. "I forgot this." Joel handed it back. The old man's face turned pale. "No." He slowly pushed it back toward Joel. "Leave it inside the house." Those were the last words Joel heard from him. The first night passed peacefully. The house creaked like every old wooden home. Nothing unusual happened. On the second night, Anne woke up crying.
"Someone is knocking."
Joel checked every door. Nothing. Then the knocking came again. Not from the walls. Not from the windows. From beneath the floor. Joel crouched. Silence. When he stood up, 3 more knocks. Directly beneath where he had been standing. He blamed rats. The next morning, he inspected the crawl space under the house. No rats. No loose boards. Nothing. The third night, the knocking returned. This time it moved. Across the living room, then into the hallway. Then beneath Anne's bedroom, the little girl screamed.
"Daddy, it's following me."
Joel tore up one floorboard. Only damp soil. Nothing else. By the 4th night, Liza noticed something strange. The family photographs hanging on the walls had changed. In one picture taken during Christmas, someone stood behind Joel. A tall woman. Long black hair. No face. She hadn't been there before. Joel removed every photo. The next morning, they were hanging back on the wall. Exactly where they had been. On the 5th night. Anne disappeared. Only for a minute. Joel searched every room. He shouted until his voice cracked. Then, knock. 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 From beneath the dining room floor. They lifted the table. Anne's tiny voice answered.
"I'm down here."
Joel ripped away the wooden boards. Nothing. Only solid earth. Anne suddenly walked out of her bedroom. Confused.
"Why are you digging?"
She had no memory of speaking. Neither Joel nor Liza slept after that. Every hour, the knocking continued. Always beneath them. Always 3 knocks. Never 4. Never 2. Exactly 3. On the 6th night, Joel decided to stay awake with a flashlight and a hammer. At exactly 3 a.m., the first knock came. Then another. Then, instead of a third knock, a hand burst through the wooden floor. Gray, rotting. Its fingers searched blindly before disappearing back into the darkness below. Joel screamed. Liza saw it too. So did Anne. The next morning, there wasn't even a crack in the floor. The family packed immediately. Joel loaded everything into their pickup truck. The engine wouldn't start. A mechanic from the neighboring barangay examined it. There isn't anything wrong with it. It still refused to start. That evening, the knocking returned, louder than ever. Not beneath the floor anymore. Inside the walls. Thousands of tiny knocks echoed through the house all at once. The walls vibrated. Dust poured from the ceiling. Then, complete silence. Anne looked toward the hallway.
Daddy? Who's that lady?
Joel turned. A woman stood near the front door. She wore an old Filipino dress stained with mud. Her long hair covered her face. One hand pointed toward the floor. The other pointed at Joel. Slowly, she lifted her head. There was no face beneath the hair. Only darkness. The lights went out. Neighbors heard screams that lasted less than 10 seconds. By sunrise, the house was silent. Police arrived after concerned residents called the barangay captain. The front door was locked. Inside, the dining table remained set for dinner. The family's luggage sat beside the entrance. Joel's wallet, phone, and truck keys rested on the table. The crucifix lay broken on the floor. But Joel, Liza, and Anne were gone. No blood. No footprints. No sign of forced entry. Search teams looked for weeks. Nothing. Months later, the house was sold again. The new owner hired workers to renovate it. As they removed the old wooden flooring, they discovered something impossible. Hundreds of human handprints pressed into the soil beneath the house, all pointing upward, as though people buried alive had clawed toward the surface, but never escaped. The workers abandoned the job. The house still stands today. Locals say that if you pass by after midnight and place your ear against the wooden floor, you'll hear 3 slow knocks. If you answer with 3 knocks of your own, something beneath the house knows you heard it.